You're listening to a special edition of the Just Go Bike Podcast. That's AKA Murph.
And that's AP. And this is the award-winning podcast where we talk about cycling just for the fun of it. With tales from all over the nation, come for the bikes, stay for the fun, and leave with a smile.
On this special pre-ride edition, we're going to provide you with daily tales from the trail as we ride our bikes across the state of Iowa as a part of RAGBRAI 52.
And we apologize in advance for any background noise. We will be recording live in the wild each episode.
We will be right back.
At First Form, they're more than just supplements. They're built for performance, driven by purpose, and proud to fuel the RAGBRAI journey.
First Form helps real people earn real long-term results on the bike and beyond.
From clean energy to high-protein snacks that actually fuel you, they're here to keep you moving, recovering, and riding strong.
Come find the First Form team out on the route. Let's crush RAGBRAI together.
Now, back to the show.
AP, we made it through day 2 of the RAGBRAI inspection ride. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I am podcasting from a Winnebago in a parking lot outside of dinner. So I got some pizza waiting for me. I'm so excited.
I was going to say, we know what's coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't wait to tell you all about the day.
Yeah. So we're going to recap day 2 and we have a special guest with us. Do you want to say your name and what you do?
Yeah, Laura Rice. I'm one of the event operations managers with RAGBRAI and here riding our route inspection.
Woohoo! And we have you on just to get your perspective for the day, but also you did the gravel route, which was in Minnesota.
Woo.
So, but I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We had a great night in Milford last night, didn't we, AP?
Yeah, we sure did. We really enjoyed Milford. We had a really nice dinner. I can't wait to come back there. You know, the band for Milford is going to be the Schmidt Brothers.
Ooh, that's a great band, yeah.
Yeah, people who have attended the RAGBRAI route announcement party will remember Schmidt Brothers played them. Yeah, so they're really rocking and they're really awesome. So can't wait to see them again. Can't wait to be in Milford.
Yeah.
This morning we kind of toured a little bit around town and we saw they have an amazing bike trail that goes pretty far. So if you're in Milford and you need to get around town or you just kind of want to explore, I highly recommend the bike trail.
I think I may be wrong on this, but most of the day when we were in Iowa was Dickinson County. And it was one of the posts that I put on the RAGBRAI social media page. Was like a trail map.
Ooh, cool.
So, if you have spare time or you want to come back to the area in a different time other than RAGBRAI, there's a lot of bike trails between Milford and where we ended tonight in Estherville.
Yeah. So then we rolled out bright and early and we headed on up north to Minnesota.
But first, we made a stop in Wahpeton.
That's right. Wahpeton is our first stop, just a couple miles out of Milford, and they're going to be set up to be your breakfast stop. So be sure to stop there. They'll have all sorts of different vendors, entertainment, activities, and what we saw, a really cool bike statue.
Yeah, it is. It's not really a windmill, so to speak, but it rotates based on the direction of the wind, and the wheels actually spin too. So it's a huge sculpture that just look on the RAGBRAI page. You'll see all kinds of photos with us.
Yeah.
But that was really nice. We had a lot of the townspeople come in and talk to us about what they're going to be doing. So they're really pumped for us.
Yep. So then on up to Minnesota we went. One cool thing about when you get into Minnesota, the road changes from what the standard cement that you're used to. It turns red.
Red. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool too. And then the other thing that was really cool is the rumbles were different.
The rumbles are different.
Laura, how would you describe them?
Yeah, so instead of going full width across the lane, they basically have two, tire tread widths.
Yeah.
So two lines of rumbles with normal pave down the middle.
Yeah.
So you still need to look out, give heads up, tell everybody what's going on behind you, but you can shoot right down the middle.
Oh yeah. So it's actually 3 lanes of bike traffic.
Yeah.
The first one though I didn't see coming, and went over the rumbles, and they were very pleasant.
There you go.
I think we'll be fine with that. Yeah.
Just a quick little massage
Yeah,
there from
yeah.
the rumbles.
And then there's also a Welcome to Minnesota sign on the side of the road, but it sounds like, it's still in the works. There's going to be a much bigger, beautiful Welcome to Minnesota sign that will be created, and it will be at Browns Park. So if
Yeah.
there happens to be a pileup of people wanting to get their photo taken, go to Browns Park, because we're very hopeful. I don't know what percentage we're hoping that happens. Let's say 89%.
Sure.
That
I'll go
they-
90.
Yeah, okay, 90. So that they will have a great Welcome to Minnesota sign for photo ops. But we spent quite a bit of time there in Brown Park.
Before we hit Brown Park, there was the gravel section. So,
Oh, yeah.
Laura, I would love your expertise on the gravel section because you're the only one of us three who rode it.
Yeah, it was a beautiful section. We dipped off pretty soon after the state line. So, yeah, we got to get our photo op at the sign and then had a nice downhill. And then the gravel turns off pretty quickly. And
So you're saying you did gravel in Minnesota?
Yes.
Whoa.
Minnesota
Okay, this is pretty
gravel.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And it was beautiful. So today's gravel, I would say, is your kind of typical gravel that you think about. It's a typical gravel road. It wasn't so chunky, but it still was chunky. I wouldn't necessarily recommend going out on a road bike or road tires. You can, if you're a comfortable, very technically advanced rider, you're comfortable doing that, I'd say go for it. You'll be okay. But definitely recommend, a little more gravel set up for this one. And it wasn't a long segment. It was 3.1 miles.
Oh, nice.
But it was very nice and rolling. So one of our other riders, Bailey, she's new to gravel. She was on a gravel bike, and she said it was perfect beginner gravel because she's like, yesterday was her first gravel.
Yeah.
Go Bailey. So today was second gravel day, and she absolutely loved it. Had a great time, and
That's
it was
so
beautiful.
awesome.
Yeah, the fact that she came back for more,
Yeah.
that tells you a lot about the fun that was had, that the gravel was good or good enough for her, and that people want gravel.
And again, like you said, she was riding a gravel bike, though,
Right.
so she was prepared.
Yeah.
She
Correct.
came into it knowing she wanted to experience the gravel.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was nice and rolling. There weren't any major climbs. Yesterday we had a kind of a steep pitch, but this was nice and rolling, so you're not going to necessarily get too worn out on this segment.
Great.
Cool beans.
Okay, back to Brown Park. That's going to be set up for real RAGBRAI with all kinds of food vendors. So we got to check out, I think there were 3 there, maybe 3 or 4.
There were 3. And as we were rolling into the park, the shaved ice truck was rolling into the park. And I was saying, I hope that they stop and we can have some shaved ice. And guess what? We did.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because right when they were pulling in, I just had to get my corn report done. So I went into the cornfield while the shaved ice guy turned, and we all went, yay!
Yeah, so we'll get back to the corn report a little bit later. But
Yes, yeah.
The shaved ice was awesome. They'll also have some sort of like iced coffee and some ice cream there. And then some of the other vendors, I had a cheeseburger that was really good from just sort of a lunch truck.
And I had a piece, they were like cheesecake cupcakes.
Oh.
And it was fabulous. It was cookie dough, and it was like chef's kiss. It was so good.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Laura, what'd you have?
Oh yeah, I had the baked potato from
Ooh,
the
it
La
looked
Lunch
so
Hogs.
good, yeah.
It hit the spot. And then I had iced coffee from the icy truck. She does so many things. She's super excited. They had so many things. They had cotton candy. I mean, whatever your sugar rush is, I think they had it covered.
Yep.
And then I also had cheesecake. I had the blueberry with a lemon swirl.
Ooh. Yum.
Same thing. Amazing.
Yeah.
And that's just, a very light sampling of what they're going to have there. It's going to be, I'd say, pretty good.
Pretty good.
even.
They also had a pork chop on a stick, like the Minnesota version. So I didn't have one, so I can't speak to it. But
Well, I didn't see a lot of leftovers on them, so we'll just take that as a sign.
That's true.
So they're really going to essentially, it's a park, but they're going to set it up as a town. They're going to have everything you would want. They even have flush potties. I mean, it's really great. They're going to have a lot of photo ops, but I won't ruin it. I'm going to leave something for a surprise, but they're going to be pretty cool.
Do you want to talk about Pearl Lake, or is that part of a surprise?
No, that's not a surprise.
Okay.
They do have a tire dip available in Minnesota, so you can say that you dipped in Minnesota in Pearl Lake, and it's right there in the park. It's like a hop, skip, and a jump from where the food is.
When I went to do my tire dip, I wasn't quite sure if I should do back tire or front tire because I was in and out of Minnesota.
Yeah.
But I think we all chose to do back, didn't we?
Yeah, we did back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And the one, I don't know if this will be true on the ride, but there were butterflies everywhere, so it was really cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, from Brown Park, our bellies were full. We were ready to roll. The next town, which is actually the town before Estherville, is named Superior.
Yeah, Superior was cool. And I just want to note that what I would consider the largest hills of the day, which were really not that challenging, were right before Superior. So do make sure that you stop in Brown Park and fuel up before you get there.
Yep. And in Superior, we were also at a park for a little bit, just kind of chilling out and grabbing snacks from our resources. But it was beautiful there.
Yeah. One thing I do know about Superior is that one of their vendors is going to be Smoothie Revolution.
Whoa, I love those guys. They love us too.
My friend and yours that we met at Ride the Rockies originally.
Yeah.
So we've been friends for a long time, but I can't wait to see them in Superior.
Yep.
But they'll have all sorts of other vendors and entertainment and stuff to get you. They'll have a big beer garden. So if that's your thing, you'll be able to party a little bit before you head to Estherville.
Yeah. And overall today, depending on where you're camping, probably less than 50 miles. So you definitely have time to hang out in all those great spots.
Yeah. Highly recommend stopping in all 3 towns.
Yep. And then we ended up in Estherville, which I thought was the courthouse lawn. You know how beautiful that is?
Yeah.
And then I looked up and it was actually the public library.
Oh,
so
cool.
they have a beautiful park around that. And then behind it was the official buildings. But
I should have stopped in and checked something out.
you should have.
Yeah.
I bet the air conditioning was on, like in July. That's going to be, if they are open, that'll be a great spot.
Yeah.
But then AP and I found the marketing intern for Estherville, and we got to go in a car, which is kind of funny. Like we're like, oh, it's kind of cool being in a car. Yeah.
Shout out to Sophie.
Sophie, thank you for doing that. Yeah. But we went to a must-see spot. If you get to Estherville early enough, go find what's called the Swinging Bridge.
Yeah.
Terrifying and cool and historical and a must-see. Also, it's in a park. It looks like wood, but there's cables underneath it, and you can wiggle around on it. It's a swinging bridge.
I barely got Murph up onto it. It's a suspension cable swinging bridge that was built on the site of the Old Mill Dam in 1937. It was a part of the Works Progress Administration, WPA, from Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal program. They have a nice plaque about it, so that's how I know all that information. But it was really cool, really historic, and the boards are bouncy when you walk across it, but just adds to the adventure.
Exactly. Yeah. I highly doubt you will be able to ride your bike across it. You should make it a walking experience. And we don't know this. We'll find out tonight at dinner, but I'm going to guess Estherville will have plenty of signage to get you to the swinging bridge.
Yeah.
I also found out that they have 2 museums, both a meteorite museum that is right near downtown, and then also the Estherville Museum, which was a few blocks away, but that has been recently upgraded. So we're going to cross our fingers that they'll be open during RAGBRAI.
Do you want to talk about what we did after we went to the swinging bridge?
Go ahead.
We went to Ninja Park.
I can't wait to see the videos that we did.
Yeah, it was super, super, super fun. Ninja Park is sort of like, if you've ever seen the TV show American Ninja Warrior, it's like a cross between that and playground equipment. So there's all sorts of climbing and jumping and swinging to be done. It's really fun. It's playground equipment like I've never seen before.
Yeah, we went into this big net thing, which was like probably 4 levels of nets, and we both realized we don't have a lot of arm strength.
Yeah, and it is very hard to climb in cleats because your cleats get stuck in the ropes.
Yeah, they did get stuck on the ropes.
Maybe change into your civilian clothes and then check it out. But yeah, we had a blast.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll learn some more at dinner tonight, and we will start tomorrow's episode. But overall, Laura, what did you think of the day?
Yeah, I think it was one of the most beautiful days thus far. I I know every day probably seems that way, but it really was very scenic, very rolling, very pretty. Riders are going to love it. I mean, there's so many great spots like you've talked about, and it's just it's a great fun day to be out riding.
Yeah. I was riding with Mr. Matt Phippen, our executive director, and of course right now I don't remember the section, but he said, I think this is the most beautiful part on route the whole week. So, and I believe him. And think about, in a month from now, how much more vegetation is going to be growing. The crops will be coming in. It's going to be beautiful.
I just loved how in Minnesota, I guess I'm kind of easy to please, but they call it the land of 10,000 lakes, and they were really lakes everywhere.
Wait, did you count them?
Well, we passed, I don't know, 6,
I got
7
to
lakes.
3, and then I forgot.
There were so many lakes.
There were so many.
It's pretty cool.
Wait, Laura, did you count the lakes?
I didn't, but I was noticing. You look over on your right hand, there's a lake, a little lake, a little lake. You go to the left, here's another lake. So yes, we started our count pretty well.
I always thought it was an exaggeration, but no.
No, I know, yeah. Well, I think we can wrap it up. Thank you, Laura, for taking the time. Hopefully when we get inside, they haven't all eaten and, we'll have to just go to bed hungry.
No, we're in the van. We can go to Casey's if we need to, but I highly doubt we will. So, well, listeners, I can't wait to talk to you again and tell you all about our adventures tomorrow on day 3 of the route inspection ride.
And thanks for tuning in. Well, listeners, that's it for today. We both want to thank you for tuning in to listen to this special pre-ride edition of the award-winning Just Go Bike podcast.
If you'd like to contact us with a comment about the podcast, or maybe you have a topic in mind, you can reach us at justgobikepodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on social media at JustGoBike on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram.
Please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast, especially if you're a fan.
Okay, that's a wrap. We'll be back soon. Until then,
Just go bike!